Isuri says how to order drinks at a restaurant. And I'm fixing the question a little bit. How do you order drinks at a restaurant? You sit down. The waiter usually asks that question first. What they'll say is, can I get you started with any drinks? Can I start you off with any drinks? Sometimes they'll recommend water. Would you like some water to start? Could I get you some water to start? Because usually people at least want to have a glass of water, and then they might order something else, right? So that's the first thing. And then you usually, if they say, can I get you started with some water, you just say, yes, please, ice water. Or if you want to be specific, yes, please, but with no ice. Now, sometimes with the water one, they'll say sparkling, still, or tap water. Sometimes they'll just say, would you like a bottle of sparkling or still water? Or tap water or still. Tap or still. Right, which means it's coming out of a bottle. Still water, and sparkling would be sort of higher level. And if it's sparkling water, they're going to bring you a bottle that they will pour for you, which you will pay for, by the way, usually, almost always. And it depends on the restaurant, right? So some restaurants don't ask that question. You know, if you go to let's say just a very basic sit-down restaurant, often they're not going to ask you which kind of water you want. They'll just say, water? Yes, please. Okay. Then, when they come back with the water, they might say, can I get you started with some appetizers? Or do you need a few more minutes? Or would you like to order any other drinks? Now, they might do that right at the beginning. Can I get you some water? Okay, anything else to drink? When they do that beginning thing, that first interaction where they say either, could I get you started with some drinks, or they ask you about the water, you might then take the next step and proactively say what you want to drink in addition to water. Yeah, tap water is fine. And could I also please get a Diet Coke? Then they might say, oh, sorry, we don't have Diet Coke. Are Pepsi products okay? We have Pepsi products. That's fine. Diet Pepsi, fine. Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi. Or some other drink that you might want, right? But sometimes, so you'd say that just the name of the drink, if you're ready to order that. Or you could wait until they bring you the water and then say, by the way, I think I would also like to get, let's see here, you have Korean rice punch. Can I get that one, please? Okay. So you can do that whenever, right at the beginning or when they bring you the water. That's fine. But some things are a little bit more involved, especially when it comes to alcohol. If you're at a restaurant that offers wine, beer, and cocktails, sometimes, or cocktails, because some places offer wine and beer but not cocktails, then you might have to specifically ask for those menus, because they may not be on the regular menu. So when you sit down, they give you the regular menu, right? And you're looking at it thinking, I want this. But it has the soft drinks. It has the Korean rice punch. It has the Diet Coke, but it doesn't have the cocktails, the wine, and the beer, perhaps. Some of them do. In that case, you might say, by the way, could I take a look at the drinks menu if all of the drinks are on one menu? And if you do that, they'll bring you all the menus that they have, right? They might ask you, they might say, would you like to look at the drinks menu? Yes, please. Now, some places will just give it to you. They'll give you the regular menu, and then right on top of that is the drinks menu. Sometimes it's called the drinks menu because it has all the drinks, and that includes wine, beer, and cocktails. Sometimes they don't serve cocktails, or they don't want to advertise the cocktails as much for some reason, and they want to offer just wine and beer, or just wine sometimes. Maybe some Italian restaurants might just have wine to drink. And so they'll have a wine list. Instead of a drinks menu, they'll call it a wine list. So you might say, could I please take a look at the wine list? Could I please take a look at the wine list? Or would you mind giving me the wine list? Could I please look at the wine list? We'd like to look at the wine list. Now, some places focus on beer more sometimes. So you'd say, could we look at the beer menu? I've been to places that have a beer menu because they're especially where I live in the Hudson Valley. Yeah, we have a lot of wine, but also there's a lot of beer. So some places will have a beer menu. Some places even have a cider menu. So they're different ones, whether it's beer or cider or wine. Could I look at the wine list? Could I look at the beer menu? Could I look at the cocktails menu? Could I look at the drinks menu? Could I look at the only one that has list, I think, would be wine. It wouldn't be beer list, probably. I usually, just to be safe, if I want a drink, say, could I please take a look at the drinks menu? And that kind of covers everything because they'll bring me all of the things they have for me to look at, including cocktails, including beer and wine and whatever they have. So that question usually works no matter what. But if you say wine list, then you're probably just going to get something that has only wine on it, white wine, red wine, maybe some champagnes as well. So hopefully that answers your question, Isuri. When this sort of thing happens, this sort of situation, really the best thing to do is listen to what other people are doing, look around, watch movies, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to look silly. Anytime you are interacting in not your first language, you risk looking silly, but do that. You should proactively try to look silly so that you can learn faster. That's usually a good practice, because if you're too shy, you're afraid to ask questions, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to improve your English in these kinds of situations.